Most people who spend their evenings with swollen, heavy feet tend to accept it as an unavoidable consequence of age or a long day. They elevate their legs for a while, maybe rub them briefly, and move on. But there is a remarkably simple evening ritual that has now accumulated a genuine body of scientific evidence behind it. One that involves nothing more than a basin of warm water, a spoonful of salt, and 15 minutes of your time. Let us go through exactly what happens inside your body when you make this a nightly habit. When you immerse your feet and lower legs in warm water, the temperature receptors in your skin immediately send a signal that triggers peripheral vasodilation. The blood vessels near the skin surface widen, blood flow to the extremities increases, and nitric oxide is released locally, softening the vessel walls and making circulation more efficient. This is not a trivial effect. The calf and foot region is the farthest point from the heart in the entire body, and blood that has pooled there throughout the day, due to gravity and prolonged sitting or standing, needs mechanical assistance to return upward. Warm water provides that assistance by directly stimulating the vascular pump mechanism. This peripheral vasodilation has a direct and well-studied relationship with sleep. The physiology of falling asleep depends on a specific temperature pattern, in which core body temperature drops slightly, while the skin temperature of the hands and feet rises. This distal warming signals the brain that it is safe to enter sleep mode. A study published in 2023 confirmed that a foot bath at 40 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes before bedtime raises distal skin temperature and increases the gradient between peripheral and central skin temperature, creating precisely the conditions that accelerate sleep onset. The most comprehensive evidence for foot baths and sleep comes from a systematic review and meta-analysis published in 2025, which pooled data from 18 studies involving 950 older adults aged 60 and above. Warm foot baths significantly improved subjective sleep quality compared to no foot bath, with a standardized mean difference of -0.91. A substantial effect size. The analysis identified optimal conditions as water temperature at or below 40 degrees Celsius, immersion for at least 10 minutes, and consistent practice for at least 1 week. Notably, the group using temperatures at or below 40 degrees showed an even stronger effect, with a standardized mean difference of -1.31. Given that between 30 and 50% of older adults suffer from chronic sleep difficulties, and that 76% of older adults prescribed sleep medication report limited improvement, a nightly foot bath offers a drug-free, safe alternative with genuine evidence behind it. The autonomic nervous system is another major beneficiary. A domestic study measuring autonomic nervous function before and after foot baths in healthy adults found that sympathetic nervous activity, the system responsible for the stress and alertness response, dropped from 1.25 mV to 0.57 mV immediately following a foot bath, a reduction of more than half. This shift toward parasympathetic dominance means the body moves from a state of tension and vigilance into one of rest and recovery. Chronically elevated sympathetic activity drives cortisol release, muscle tension, digestive problems, and insomnia. A foot bath interrupts this cycle in a measurably physiological way. Now to the specific question of salt. Warm water alone already provides meaningful benefits. So why add salt? When sodium chloride dissolves in water, it creates a hypertonic solution with a higher solute concentration than the fluid inside your tissues. This concentration difference works through osmosis. Excess fluid trapped in the tissue spaces, which is what swelling and edema actually are, is drawn toward the higher concentration environment outside the skin. A study on postpartum swelling found that a saltwater foot bath reduced lower limb edema more effectively than plain warm water alone, and a study with pregnant women in their 3rd trimester confirmed a statistically significant reduction in edema degree following saltwater foot soaks. A 2025 randomized controlled trial involving 54 rheumatoid arthritis patients, divided into a warm saltwater group, a plain warm water group, and a control group adds important detail. After 6 weeks of bathing 3 times per week at 41 degrees Celsius, The warm saltwater group showed the most significant reduction in pain scores compared to both other groups. More strikingly, functional capacity, meaning the ability to perform daily activities, improved significantly. Only in the saltwater group, not in the plain warm water group. The researchers attributed this to the osmotic gradient created by salt, drawing out inflammatory fluid from the small joints and extremities, reducing local swelling and thereby improving both pain and movement. Salt also activates piezo 1 and piezo 2 ion channels in the skin, which generate electrical signals, modulating both the somatosensory and autonomic nervous systems, further reducing pain perception and promoting the relaxation response. For best results, use water between 38 and 40 degrees Celsius. Going above 40 degrees stimulates the sympathetic nervous system and raises blood pressure, which is counterproductive for the purposes of evening recovery. Use roughly 1 tablespoon of salt, approximately 10 to 15 grams, per 2 liters of water. More than this can irritate the skin. Immerse your feet and lower legs to just above the ankle, or partway up the calf, and soak for 15 to 20 minutes. Ideally about 1 hour before bed. After the soak, rinse thoroughly with clean water, and dry carefully between the toes to prevent skin irritation from residual salt. A few important cautions are worth stating clearly. Anyone with wounds, broken skin, or poor circulation in the legs should consult a physician before starting this routine. People with diabetic peripheral neuropathy, whose feet have reduced temperature sensation, face a real risk of low temperature, burns from water that feels cooler than it actually is, and anyone with uncontrolled hypertension or heart failure should also seek medical advice first, as warm immersion can cause blood pressure fluctuations. Salt has been added to foot baths across cultures and centuries, for reasons that medicine is now beginning to quantify. The combination of warmth, osmotic action, ion channel activation, and autonomic modulation makes a salted evening foot bath one of the most evidence-supported low-cost wellness habits available. 15 minutes, 1 spoonful of salt, and the right temperature. That is the whole formula.